Hi, hello everyone. Welcome back to Scale Up Stand channel. In this session, I'm going to show you how to host a website for free on Microsoft Azure storage. On Microsoft Azure platform, you can host the same free website on three different options. One is your Azure Blob Storage, which is a static web hosting. And if you want to do a dynamic web hosting, you can also use Microsoft Azure Virtual Machine. On top of it, you can also go and either run a static website or a dynamic website. And Microsoft also provides you Azure App Services, which is always free services for up to 10 web applications. So if you log into the Azure portal, you can see that they are providing you multiple different services for free for a period of 12 months. And one of the services is your Azure Storage Account Blob Storage. You can store up to 5 GB of content and you can have up to 20,000 reads and 10,000 write operations for free. Similarly, you have got a category for always free services, which is Azure App Services. You have 10 web application that you can test out for free, which is always free, right? So now I'm going to use this option, Azure Blob Storage. You can also choose Azure Virtual Machine, either Linux or Windows. They also provide you free category virtual machines, and this is more than sufficient for running a small website. See, most of the people would be interested to have their own website. So, for an example, I have had an interest of having a website or a website for my passion. I want to have a shop or a cafe shop, and for which I was trying to create a website. What I've done is I've created few images, or I've just had a selective images, and I've created a home page for my landing. And if I go to the index page, so this is the index page I've created. I've given a name for my shop, and I've arranged these images in a way that it looks in a format. And I've given some more details about the interest, shop, location, and the working hours of the shop, right? So now with this content, I'm going to show you how to host a free website on Azure platform. Okay, so this is just the images folder, and within this CSS file, I've got a very small style sheet, which has allowed me to do a cascading effect. Like I've just had this cascading style here, so that it looks little neat, right? So it's a very small basic website that I've developed here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create a storage account. So that is the first step. So it is only 5 steps through which you can complete the web hosting. So I have to get the images and the web page index page ready, right? That is already done now. I'm going to create a storage account on my Azure platform. So once you have subscribed for Azure account, you can go to your homepage and you can select the storage account, and you can go and create a new storage account for static web hosting. So here you can select the subscription, and you can select the storage account or the resource group first. Then I'm going to give it a unique name for my storage account. I'll just call it as Stan Web Hosting 01. And then I'll choose the region where I want to host this. And I just need a standard performance. This is not a very highly critical website. It's a standard performance is sufficient, and also local 3 written-in copies is more than sufficient. I don't want to have a geo written-in copy. I'll go and create it by reviewing the configuration. So I've just given a unique name for my storage account, and I've selected standard performance. That is more than sufficient for my requirement. So once I have created the storage account, what I have to do is I have to go and enable static web hosting on this particular storage account. When I say static web hosting, the web hosting can be of 2 types. One is dynamic web hosting and static web hosting. So dynamic means it needs an operating system. We need to install the server side processing framework and the script and all those things on the server. And then we have to go and use the website from that particular server. But here, I don't need a server-side processing or scripting, or no framework is needed. This is a basic index.html page. It is an HTML page, and I've got some images with the style sheet cascading effect. Okay, it is a very small basic one for which I don't need to have a dynamic web hosting. So here, I'll go to the storage account and I'll scroll to the bottom here. And if you look at the option, there is an option called static website. I can just go and enable it. So it says, okay, so there is a delay. So it's still getting created. Let's give it some time. So as of now, you can see that the container has got only one folder, which is called as $logs, which is the default folder or container for storing the log for this particular storage account. And if I scroll down for the data management section, I could see static web hosting option. So currently it is not okay. So there is some delay. It is taking some time. Okay, let's give it some time. Okay, so once after the storage account is created and kept ready, we can go and do it. Okay, so now I could see it is provisioned and that it should be ready for static web hosting, I would think. Yeah, it is taking some time. Let's refresh. Yeah, so now I can see overall the refresh has solved the problem. So I can go and enable the static website on the Azure Blob storage account. And once after I enable it, I have to upload all the static content inside this, and I can start hosting a website for free. So if I enable it, it will ask like, what is our home page? What is our index page? I've just given a name as index.html. So I'll just give the same name here. And if in case the user is not able to successfully connect to the website, we can also give some error document path where we can mention like to check the proxy settings or to check whether they have entered the link correctly, and all those instructions can be provided in the error document. So if I just say save, it will create a folder called $web under the data storage container. And this is the unique URL that I have got for my website. So this is the primary endpoint. If I have selected geographical replication, I might have got primary and secondary endpoint from two different regions. But for now, for the demo, I think this is more than sufficient. I've got a unique URL through which I can go and access the web page. So now I don't have the content uploaded here. So I have to upload the content within this $web folder. I'll just say upload. And here I can just drag and drop, or I can just go and say browse for files, and then I can select these files. I can do it either ways. I'll drag and drop, that is easier for me. So I have selected only 10 files and I'll just say upload. So this upload is not going to take some time. It is going to take maybe a few seconds because it has got some quality images which are 4 MB in size each. I've got 6 to 7 images. It will get uploaded in a while. Okay, so let this get uploaded. Once the upload is complete, I should be able to access the web page or the static website using that unique URL that I've got here. If I go to the static website, it has generated a unique URL for me. So there is some delay in the web page is getting refreshed. So here I should have got a unique URL. So I can just copy this unique URL and I should be able to access it. So let's give it a minute. The upload is still going on. If I go and try now, some of the images might not get loaded because it is still getting uploaded. So let's review the quick steps here. So first we have created a few images and landing page, and I've created Azure storage account. Now I have enabled the static web hosting. While I enable the static web hosting, it has created a $web folder or a container within my storage account, and I've uploaded the content that I need for my web page into the same $web folder. And now I'm going to verify the access. Okay, just let's do that. Now I think just only one more file is pending. This is the last file. And once after that is uploaded, I should be able to access my page. Perfect. Okay. So I could see Stan Cafe is now online and I'm able to access all the files, including the details of my contact and some of the other details. So perfect. Now we have my static website available, which is free of cost as of now on Azure Blob Storage for a period of 1 year, right? See, the content is very less. It is only 20 MB, I guess. So they give you capacity for almost 5 GB. So just a 20 MB content, I've created the passion of my interest, which is having a web page for my shop, right? So now, if I want to have my own domain name, like Skill Up with Stan or Stan Cafe or whatever domain, so I've already created multiple videos or multiple sessions on how to purchase a free domain. And if I go to my freenom.com, you can log into this freenom.com domain or the site where you can go and purchase a free domain which can be used for your web hosting. So here I've purchased many domains using my Gmail ID. You can either log in with your Gmail ID or you can log in with your Facebook ID. So here I have logged in with my Google Mail ID, and if I go and check my domains, I've got maybe 10 to 15 domains that is currently active, and for first 1 year it is free of cost. You can purchase it and you can use it for your practice, or even you can run it for your business for a period of 1 year. Now you can see a lot of my domains are expiring end of this year, and I can pick and choose one of them and see there are two options. Now if you go to manage domain, under the manage domain you have option under the Freenom DNS where you can go and configure the alias entry or the canonical name entry, where if someone is accessing www.skillupistan.ga, it will automatically redirect to this particular web page here. Okay, I can just configure that way. So I can ask the DNS to redirect all the requests landing coming in for this particular domain. So how do I do it? If I go to manage Freenom domain, here I can go and create a CNAME entry. I can say www.skillupistan.ga should be redirected to the target, this one. So I'll just remove the HTTP URL, and if I save it, now from now on I should be able to redirect all the requests coming in here to this particular target. So this is one method. Or if you have your own Azure DNS, what you can do is here in AWS in Azure platform, you can go to your storage account, and under the networking, what you can do is I'll show you how that works. So if you go to your storage account, under the networking, you can go and say custom domain. Under the custom domain, you can mention the complete domain name or the URL that you want to use for the static web hosting. So you can create two different type of CNAME record. Either you can go and create www.skillupistan.tk redirecting to this link or this link, or there is a second method where you can add a as verify subdomain. This will reduce the downtime. Okay, that is the main difference. This method does not incur any downtime, whereas the first method, it will need some minimal brief downtime here. So I'm going for the second method because it is a more robust method. So if I go to my DNS zone, under the DNS zone, I can go and create a record set, and then it will say as verify.www.skillupistan.tk should get redirected to this particular link. So if I add the CNAME entry, if I go and say www.skillupistan.tk, it should open up my web page. Okay, so it is that easy, and you can play around, and you can easily complete or have a host a website for free. Either it is a personal or a professional requirement, you can do it like this. It is as simple as that. Okay, thank you for listening.